Consistency. Really important for what I suspect is a pretty small number of people. And what I mean by that is there are an awful lot of extremely popular TV shows which do not seem to require much in the way of consistency. Main characters have skills, abilities, or background characteristics which appear and disappear depending on who's writing that particular episode. Events happen, unhappen, rehappen, again depending on what the writers feel like. Main or prominent supporting characters such as brothers appear and then vanish as if they never existed, never to be referred to again. There does seem to be a large amount of the population which doesn't give a rat's ass for consistency. But for those of us to whom it matters a great deal, it's one of the things, one of the linchpins on which satisfaction rests. And in the role-playing game community, one of the things that I've begun to suspect is that the people to whom consistency and investment matter the most, they wind up in the GM's chair wishing they could find a game to play in rather than run. So, listening to your description, what I was hearing is that somebody, you, now sees all the wires that control the puppets in the play, and it's just not satisfying anymore. It's not good enough anymore. And I think that what you're really going to find is that you'll be in the GM's chair more and more often from here on out. And learning to love it as much as you love being a player is the next step on the journey. Which is not to say you won't find another group, because you will. But there will always be that fear. Will this be as bad as that strange and inconsistent experience that I had? You mentioned that you're worried that you have a fragile, immersive experience. I don't really think this is the case. What you're describing, the detail that's being described, it's only the important detail. If there's nothing of importance, then nothing is described. The characters that are more interesting get all this lavish attention from the game master. Description speed slows down. All of these things are like being slapped in the face to someone to whom consistency is both noticed and important. For a lot of people sitting around a game table, they are not actually going to get all the detail that comes from the game master or their fellow players. You can play with people for years and they still can't remember the name of your character. They think of you as a class of character or a particular occupation or one of the list of abilities that come from that game, like you're the guy that can deliver the fireball or you're the guy that is the sniper. So the fact that your character has a fleshed out history and you've been playing that character for months and months or years and years doesn't enter into it. You're just filed away under fireball. And sad but true. What's kind of interesting is that role-playing games rely very much on the spoken word, but surprisingly little of what we comprehend about what's said to us, surprisingly little of that comprehension actually comes from what is said. A lot more comes from how it's said. And one of the things that differentiates role-playing from acting is how little of these non-verbal cues, these physical cues, are often delivered along with the message. And plus there's this distinction between I do it, or my character does it, right? Or a full-on description, like we were talking about with Tim's excellent question about character sheets, right? I spot hidden, or I slowly and carefully search the room. So all of these layers or levels of abstraction of meaning come between the players and what's really going on. And so those who aren't giving the story their full attention, and those who don't care as much about consistency as they do about having a good time tonight, they're going to miss a lot. They're going to miss the fact that the Game Master's descriptions carry obvious clues to what he wants you to do simply by the way that he speaks. So, you've seen the wider world, you've seen behind the curtain. You can't unsee it. What are you going to do?